As a busy mom and dairy farmer, I'm always looking for ways to support my family's health as well as my own, and I absolutely love Wonder Cow Colostrum. It's packed with essential nutrients, great for supporting gut health, boosts immunity, and promotes overall wellness. Whether it's for me, my kids, or anyone looking to stay strong and healthy, Wonder Cow is my go-to daily supplement. I've been taking it for a year now, and it is irreplaceable in my daily routine. If you want to experience the amazing benefits of colostrum too, you can use my special code DairyGalVal at checkout for a discount. Give Wonder Cow a try, and you will definitely feel the difference. Hey, I'm Val Lavigne, farmer, mom, and host of this podcast, Pull Up a Bale. This is where real stories from rural life meet bold conversations about the future of agriculture. So pull up a bale and let's talk. Today on the Bale, I am honored to have Mary Faber on. Mary, how are you today?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm doing okay. We were both just airing our grievances about how some days you just have those days and you just want to smack your head on the wall a few times. And I think we're both having that day, but this is going to make it better. So that's what matters. It's the little things, right?
It is. I'm excited to talk with you today.
Me too. And so, Mary, I know who you are, and I know that probably some people listening do know who you are. But for those that don't, why don't you give us the quick rundown? Who are you, Mary Faber?
Well, I am Mary Faber, and I am a full service virtual bookkeeper for rural entrepreneurs. I call Pontiac, Illinois home, where I live with my husband, who is an ag teacher and FFA advisor. And we have two kids together. Ava is 13 and Eli is 11. So in addition to being a bookkeeper for my clients from coast to coast, I am a full-time taxi driver, taking the kids to their various activities. In addition, we spend a lot of the time in the barn with our 4-H projects, where we show dairy cattle and beef cattle. So that's a little bit about what I do.
Awesome. And I'm sure that they don't tip good either with your taxi service.
No, they don't. We should have that conversation with them.
Yeah. Just start handing them the app with the phone, like tip 15, 20, 25. Like, how was your service today? Please tip me.
Usually they're pretty good. Last week was a rough week in the cooking standpoint, where pretty sure I burnt every single meal I cooked. And then they got a little cocky at the end of the week and said, "Can you please not burn our grilled cheese tonight?"
Yeah. I would have burnt it just in spite of them.
I have to say it was probably one of the best grilled cheese I've ever made. So they were
At a girl,
perfect.
she
Perfectly.
ran.
I did rally. I pulled through, and for that I am thankful.
That's awesome. Well, good thing you're here helping us with our books, not our cooking classes, right?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Well, I am so much better at bookkeeping.
And I can't say anything because I mean, I can cook if I want to, but I really don't like to. And like, I am very upfront and honest with the fact that my husband does the majority of the cooking and we own a catering business. So there's that, but be
I would
happy.
just I would just have them cater my meals every night.
Well, that is my husband. He does the majority, him and my mom do the majority of the cooking. So I make out good. I am a official taste tester and organizer. So
Hey, teamwork.
yes, if it's in the food truck, I can cook it. I can do that.
Okay,
That's like, straightforward and simple. When things get tricky, I'm not so good, but I can follow a recipe. So,
perfect.
dear. So, Mary, you obviously didn't start your life out being the coolest ag entrepreneur bookkeeper ever. So, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Pontiac, Illinois, which is right in the heart of central Illinois. We kind of put it into perspective. We're about 100 miles south of Chicago on Interstate 55. And so went to school there. And growing up, I said I never wanted to return to Pontiac. Well, we know how karma works.
Here you are.
I lived 2 miles from where I grew up. Was incredibly active in 4-H, combined two of my two loves, agriculture and business, threw them together for a major called ag business, and headed off to college with the goal of getting a job and getting that regular paycheck. Did all that good stuff, kept working in the corporate field, did everything that on paper, I was supposed to be doing. I met my husband who was a teacher at our local high school and, well, fell in love, got married, had kids. Kind of the interesting part is
In Pontiac.
it's still in Pontiac. And everybody's like, oh, you know, he is the ag teacher and FFA advisor, but I was never in FFA. But I wasn't in FFA because my high school did not have it when I went to high school there. They brought the program back a little over 20-ish plus years ago. And so now that's kind of like the full circle is that he is teaching ag at my high school. So was working in a corporate and I was a controller for a local co-op. As a controller, I paid the bills, I managed credits, I did all the month end, I worked with all of the patronage, kind of the behind the scenes, making sure the entire company's books were in order. And then, we're a few years out, a little thing called COVID hit, and I was sent home to work from home. And I'll be honest, I fell in love with that. Like, I loved working from home. And so, did that for a few months and then the company was like, "We need you in the office 5 days a week."
Wait a second.
Yeah, and I live in Illinois. In Illinois, back in COVID, I saw the writing on the walls that it was only just a matter of time before, my kids were gonna be sent home. They were little enough who was gonna facilitate that when I was in the office from 7 to 5. So, actually, the end of September 5 years ago, I turned in my resignation and walked away, from that job without a plan, um, and, was literally hoping for the best. I had no idea what I wanted to do, um, but yeah.
Awesome. Now, when you were going to college, did you ever have like that knack for finance? Was it something that interested you, or is it just kind of something that fell into your lap?
I think it's something that I was always really interested in. In high school, I took like a basic accounting class and it was getting numbers organized and balanced. And throughout college, I had some amazing internships where I was like a loan underwriter, and those type of things. And so between like loan underwriting and farm insurance underwriting, it's pretty much kind of the common thread. And then working as for in the co-op world is working with numbers and getting them, where they need to be. Maybe, maybe they're already organized and you need to keep them organized, or maybe they need a little bit of work, kind of those things. So, like, kind of looking back on my career, that was kind of the areas that I really enjoyed and I really enjoyed doing. And then kind of when you're sitting at home without a job, you kind of really you take an analysis of what am I really good at and what do I enjoy doing? Um, and one thing I missed was working with the numbers and getting numbers to balance. And so I was like, okay, what can I do while working from home, um, that kind of combined those loves,
Mhm.
um, and then kind of my I'm incredibly passionate about the agriculture industry and number 1, the people in the industry. And so that kinda you throw all that kind of stuff together in a pot, and somehow I came up with being a virtual entrepreneur for, rural entrepreneur a virtual bookkeeper for rural entrepreneurs.
So, is that something that one day you were all of a sudden just like, I think I'm just going to tell people if they need help with their QuickBooks, or how does that come about? Like, or did someone say, "Hey, I know you're sitting home with no job. Do you want to do this for me?" Like, how does that even become a thing?
It, took, a lot of bush lights one night, and I
We're
created a
putting it
social.
all out here on the
Oh, I
table.
am. I'll be 100%. That literally is what I did. And it was like 5 years ago, like last week, that I did it, that I literally had a social media post and I was scared to death and, with a lot of liquid courage. I mean, apparently, if you go back in the theme of my life, that there's bought cows like this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But that's what I did. I threw it out there that this is what I was going to be doing, and people took a chance on me. People took a chance, and I got my first client and my second. And I have been blessed that my business has continued to grow the last 5 years.
Awesome. That's really cool. And, it does take that just look every once in a while. You have those moments in your life where you're like, suck it up, buttercup. We just got to do this and see what happens. Like, hold on, let's do this, throw it out there, see if it sticks to the wall or not.
And somebody very close to me literally said, "Well, what are you going to do if this fails?" And I was, and it's a valid question. And I kind of looked at them, and that's what really put this into context. And I'm like, okay, so if the virtual bookkeeping doesn't work out, what is the worst case scenario? And for me was I go and find a job. Like, and when you look at it that way, and I'm like, okay, and that wouldn't be worst case scenario. I can think of a lot worse things that could happen. And I'm like, so I go get a job. No biggie. And that's what I did. I grew the business. In the meantime, I taught for a semester at the local community college where I taught QuickBooks, a QuickBooks class for a semester to kind of help supplement. And then by the time end of the semester, actually I did, yeah, a full year of teaching for them. By that point, I was to the point where I'm like, okay, I truly enjoyed the teaching. It just that my bookkeeping business had grown enough that I had to decide it was either one or the other.
That's awesome that your bookkeeping business was able to grow to that size that quickly where you
Mhm.
were able to make that decision and
Mhm.
say, hey, we're going to focus solely on this.
Correct.
And I mean, I've had one meeting with you, and I am very illiterate when it comes to QuickBooks, and thank God I have Mary. So if you have questions, definitely reach out to her because she's fantastic. And she's good at being like, wait a second, slow down, let's do this the right way. And sometimes I need that in my life because sometimes I get a little rushed. And I do this in all parts of my life, not just bookkeeping. But um, if you are struggling with your QuickBooks, or what's the other one that you work with?
Ambrook. And the other one,
Amber.
Popper, very, very popular right now. Yeah.
Yeah. If you need help, give our girl Mary a ring in old sense, email her, aka. We don't actually need to call her. We need to email her. But anyways, she's awesome. So shout out to you. That's really fantastic. And so I kind of want to skip back a little bit in your story. When you basically told your husband, hey, I don't want to go back to the office. I'm going to quit my job. What did he
Mhm.
say?
Okay.
That's a good husband right there. See?
And like going back, and I asked him, and he's like, I had no idea what you were going to do. I'll be really honest, but I knew you'd do something. But, and it was kind of, I would almost say I'd had a few businesses, very, very small, almost hobby type businesses ahead of time to kind of dip my feet in the entrepreneur or world. A little MLM, which was, I mean, it's a great starting point. And then I was a cut flower grower. So I took a section of my yard and transformed it into a cut flower garden, which I did for 3 seasons. And so kind of taking a dirt patch and transforming it to where I'm able to sell and market cut flowers on social media and at our farmers market, kind of learning how to build a business, putting in that sweat equity, literally. But I did that. And then I stopped doing that just not because I had to. It was just there were so many hours in the day that I could make more money doing bookkeeping than growing flowers.
The
True.
margins tend to be a little better.
It is. And to be really honest, like I live in Illinois, the growing season is so temperamental. And I needed something 12 months a year. And when the cut flower world is so busy,
Hmm.
that's also when we're the busiest in the show barn. That's when we are exhibiting our cattle. And that is something we do as a family. And the cut flower was something that I just did myself. And it was like such a great experience. But again, like that chapter closed and a new chapter began. We literally closed
Awesome.
the flowers and then we had our show barn, and that's where we spend our free time now.
Awesome. And how do you want to talk a little bit about the cattle operation that you guys have?
Yeah, I work with the high-end, frisky, high maintenance ones. I'll be really honest, those are the ones that we take care of because we have the show cattle here at our place. So we will have my husband grew up on a beef farm, so we will have a handful of beef cattle. Last year we had 1 steer and 3 heifers. I'm still kind of shaking out to see what the 2026 show season for the beef cattle look like. In addition, we show the dairy cattle, which is in partnership with my brother, his wife, and their kids. So we can do that. The dairy cattle kind of rotate more in and out depending on like I'm gonna get a group probably in the next couple days where I'm gonna break them to lead this winter so that, should they need to be shown next summer or maybe when they're cows, they've had a halter on them, just kind of do that. And then obviously you know, the kids are gonna have their show cattle for, next summer where they can exhibit them locally, state, and then hopefully at the national level. Both of my kids were able to exhibit 2 head of cattle at World Dairy Expo a few weeks ago. So, but yeah, and then we closed out the 2025 season and are just kinda hanging out, taking it easy till 2026.
Yes. I know if you really get into showing, you can definitely do a large amount of shows in a short amount of time. It's a lot.
Yeah,
I know here in New York, sometimes people they're literally gone for like 2 months because they're going from one to another and they just keep on going. So it
yeah.
uh it can definitely wear on you. So,
And I think kind of the neat experience was, we decided to send 4 to World Dairy Expo, and that prep work from State Fair, which was mid-August, through Expo, which is like the 1st of October, I never once had to say twice, "It's time to go to the barn and rinse and work with your cattle." The kids were so bought in, um, so locked in, and that it was enjoyable. I mean, we were putting in so much hard work getting
mhm,
them ready, but it wasn't like I was fighting them to go out there and do chores. You know, that made it really nice.
definitely because it makes it just a pain when you have to sit there. You're like, I already invested all this. You wanted to do this, and now I'm forcing you to go do
Mhm.
this. It's definitely, and those of you with children all understand what those tasks are like because,
Yeah. No, they're not, I mean, and they did it and they put in the hard work. We set some very lofty goals for the show season. We didn't hit them all. I'll be truly honest with you. We hit about half of them, and so then having that conversation with them, "Okay, what happens when you don't hit your goals?"
mhm,
Because, like, that happens. That's called real life. Like, what could we have done different, or was this just not in the cards for this year? And then, okay, do we give up or do we try something different type of mentality? So, um, I sometimes, and I think this is with true life. And, somebody asked me about in my business, like, well, how did you learn all that? I'm like, I learned it the hard way. You sometimes learn more about yourself and the situation on situations that don't work out like you want
mhm.
them to.
Yes. And it's also important, it's an important lesson for children too at this age is like, hey, you may not have done all that you wanted to, but instead of giving up, reassess and work even harder next time to try to get to those goals because I know I'm not the only one out there that struggles with this, but like, my gosh, sometimes I struggle with my kids and they're just like, I can't, it's too hard. I give up. And I'm like, do you think that I got to where I am or anyone got to where they are because when it got hard, they said, I give up. It's too hard. I'm
Mhm.
not going to be able to do that. Nope. It means that you put your head down and you try even harder and you be a
You
bull and push on through.
you figure it out. And I mean, I wish there was like looking at my business, there wasn't a roadmap of what I should do, how I should do it. You kind of go this direction, and if it's not working, you back up or you try something different. Yeah, I think everybody sees life as a highlight reel. That oh my gosh, look what she has, look what she's done. But what they're not seeing is that that behind the scenes, the truth of, I just want to throw my hands up. I want to bang my head against the wall. This isn't working. Those scenes, but they might just see, holy crap, she's got all these clients and she's doing this. And I'll be like, okay, 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 that yes, that is great. But let's
Here,
be here's the truth. Here's the real. Like, I'm also working my butt off
yes,
to have that as well.
correct.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's definitely something, and that's kind of something that I hope to instill, especially in my kids now that we're homeschooling, to be able to instill that upon them, because I have a feeling a lot of the world these days, a lot of them don't understand that, and they don't understand going through the trials and tribulations and coming out stronger on the other side of it.
Yeah, kudos to you for homeschooling. I tried that for a little bit with COVID, and we have learned that everybody has their skill set, and an elementary teacher is not mine. So I could teach college kids. I like adults, but little kids, not my thing. So
Yep. Yep. And I mean, I have my days, so
we all
definitely.
do.
And I didn't like teaching them when they were sent home from school for COVID.
It's different.
It's a lot different, which
Mhm.
is nice. So,
Yeah.
um, currently they're over reading with grandma. So,
Well,
a book
hopefully.
that they don't like, amazing.
I
Hey,
know.
get it read and then you're done and you don't have to read it again. Ta-da! So,
No, but it's easier to complain.
oh,
It's easy.
100%. Just like, hey, we spent 5 hours cleaning the house. Let's leave our stuff laying around again. Mom yells at us again and then complain that we just got done cleaning.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Maybe
hey,
one day. Maybe
you
they'll
can
learn.
just pick up after yourself and it won't be such a task.
I hope.
I mean, I'm just putting the obvious out there, guys, but like, hey,
Sometimes they have to learn the hard way.
oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm at that point. Like, did they ever figure it out? Like, does this ever change? And my mom goes, you were messy when you were a kid too. And I'm like, super.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now I just want a clean, peaceful house.
I can
All
respect that.
I, yes. We were talking about memes earlier. I read a meme last night. It was so funny. And it was like, I never understood what my parents meant when they said, it's so loud, I can't hear myself think. And now I get it.
Mhm. They're so
And oh my
loud.
gosh, I get it. Some days I'm just like, I'm so just like, stop talking. I'm so overwhelmed with things in my brain. You gotta stop. Oh God.
Yes. And then, junior high lingo these days, like,
Oh,
I need, like, cliff notes, like, what does this even mean? Like, is this what they're saying? Is it appropriate? Is it not appropriate? Like,
yep.
w can you translate?
My kids picked something up at summer camp and I was like, that doesn't sound appropriate. So I looked it up and I was like, it was basically like a slang way of calling someone fat. And I'm like, I don't think that's appropriate. No, it doesn't really mean anything. I was like, oh no, it does. Like, this is what it means. And they were like, and then thankfully that put an end to that. But I'm like, oh, you can't just
Mhm.
say these things. But the good news is we have Google these days and we can look up these terms
And we
because
can figure out if they're
what
appropriate
did
or
people
not.
do before they had their phone on them and they could just Google what things meant?
Some days that would be nice. I'll be really honest, and my
Well,
kids are like,
yes.
"Here," I'm like, "You want my phone?" Like, there are times when I will happily, like, I'd pay somebody almost to take my phone away some days, but it
Just
it is
having that instant information at your
yes,
fingertips, it'd be
yes.
it'd be a real shame to not have that. Know what the kids are calling us.
I know, right? I know. Besides, "Mom, you're awesome."
Yes.
Don't
So,
hear that.
getting back to your business and the
Mhm.
really cool things that you're doing, what kind of plans, is it just you? Are you planning to expand into the future? What does your business like for you going forward?
Yeah, that's a great question. And kind of like this, I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know what exactly. Today, I can tell you my number one focus is on serving rural entrepreneurs as their full service bookkeeper. A full service bookkeeper, this is somebody that, I go in and I manage your accounting software. I categorize your transactions. I reconcile your accounts. I make sure that your books are ready month in and month out so that when it comes tax time, you're not buried. Like, it is just a simple, hey, I've got a tax appointment next week. Can you make, oh, cool, here's your stuff. It's not anything like that. When it comes time for tax time, it's okay, cool. Here's the stuff. It's not a catch up or a stress because we've done your books every month. And so, that is the heart of my business is being that full service bookkeeper for my clients. Now, you know, do I have help? Yes. I have some contractors that help me. And so we're kind of evolving more in that route is, bringing people on so I can serve more clients. And so where does that end? I don't know. But I still want to be involved in the day to day. That if my client has a question, that I am here and I am able to answer that for them. I know what's going on in their business, but as a true CEO of my business, I need to take a look at where's my time best spent and, dividing that up accordingly because I'll be honest, there are times that some of my greatest happiness is getting lost in a set of books. It makes me sound really weird
I was gonna say, and this is where we differ.
and that okay, somebody came to me with a set of books that they needed help with. That okay, maybe it is the end of the calendar year and you haven't touched your books for months. And you're like, I need to get these caught up. Like I need to
It's the help.
help, I need help, and they're like, okay. And then they just hand it off to me. And it is my job to take those books, whether it's building them or cleaning them up because they got a little bit sideways. Because here's the thing, no matter which accounting software you use, you still need to manage it. As much as you want AI out there to help you still need to manage it because if you're not manage it correctly, you're gonna get sideways. And then kind of, because I've seen both situations where people are like, oh, I can do my bookkeeping. I'm like, you're right. I mean, DIY, cool.
Yeah, I'm like, cool.
Yeah, like I have no problem with that. Like I work with people that I teach them how to DIY their books, help them to be efficient, help them to use their software. But there are times when they're like, you know what, Mary, I done with this. I'm tired of this. I want to hand it off to you because my time is spent better here or doing this and doing this. And I despise this because every week I keep crossing it off my to-do list because I don't do it. Like, and I'm 10 months behind, 11 months behind. I'm a year behind. And I know I'm missing opportunities because I'm not doing the bookkeeping. So where is my business going? I'm not 100% sure, but my goal is to serve entrepreneurs to the best of my ability as their full service bookkeeper. And whether it be doing the training or actually in the books or working with a team of people that help me so I'm able to serve more clients, I think the true focus is going to be on that. But I also think I have to say, because I am a mom, that
Mhm.
my number one focus is my family and my kids and that I will not miss their activities because of work. So I will be at their swim meet, their baseball game. I will be at the fair watching them show. I mean, if I could get out of setting up and tear down, I mean, I'll do my best to get out of
Oh
that.
man,
I'll
honey,
be,
I've got appointments all day. I
I
forgot all
know,
about it.
damn
I'm so
it, I know.
sorry. What a shame.
Um, but I'll be there. But I've been able to build the business while keeping like my number one focus on them, and to be there. So does it require early mornings? Yeah. Sometimes. Does it require, if they're XYZ at a practice or they're swimming laps at the pool, can I plug into my Wi-Fi? Absolutely, and do it there. That is the beauty about doing what I do is that I can plug it in as long as I have internet. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. It's so great to have what's so great for, agricultural people like myself to have you as a resource because very rarely is QuickBooks, someone's number one, like, woo, this is my favorite. So, so
Fine.
it's
I'm weird, like,
it's my favorite, but I know that that's a dreaded thing for a lot of people. And it's really awesome that we have such a great resource and someone that understands agriculture like you to help us get through what we got to get done. So
yeah. I mean,
I love that.
because that is, everybody in my business, there's things that I hate doing as well. And I know, unfortunately, there's a lot of other business owners that bookkeeping is that Achilles heel. And that if I could help them make that not as painful, that's my goal.
Awesome. I love that. And with that, I want to switch over to some fun rapid fire questions.
Oh
just to
boy.
hear.
Okay.
Oh boy, she says. Gosh, cats or dogs?
That's a tough one because 2 years ago I would have said a dog, but a little over a year ago we got supposed to be a shed cat and she's never stepped foot outside in her life. And
Supposed to be.
oh yeah, she's not. She is the queen of the house and I have really fallen in love with the cat. So that's a toss up. I know I never would have thought I would have said
Depends
cat.
on the personality.
She is something.
Yep.
She is something.
I love my dogs, but I'm very particular about the dogs that I like. And then I've got my one cat that he is a sasshole, as they say.
Yeah, like
He's my boy.
there's
His Bubbles, and he's great.
yeah. I mean, knock on wood, she hasn't made an appearance in here, so we'll call that good. She's probably sound asleep somewhere. I mean, she lives the best life, literally.
Spoiled queen of the house.
Yes, yes.
That's a good way to be, dear. Morning person or night owl?
Morning, hands down.
Coffee. How do you like your coffee?
Caramel latte.
Ooh, fancy.
It's kind of one of those things. You try a lot of different things, and then I found this, and I haven't found something to beat it yet. Maybe someday, but right now it's a caramel
But
latte.
right now, that's where it's at.
I mean, if you get really fancy, a Caramelicious from Scooters, but there's no Scooters coffees around where I live. I found Scooters by going
Never
to
even
shows.
heard of Scooter's coffee.
Yeah, it's very delicious, but they're Caramelicious. But there's no Scooters around here. Whenever we go to a fair, that's usually where we see them. Is so
Interesting.
treat myself.
Get Scooters.
I know.
Oh dear. What's your favorite childhood memory on the farm?
Probably showing cows, feeding calves.
Like a memorable moment.
Yeah. Probably actually I'm gonna go with feeding calves because we fed our calves in calf hutches, and so they were in a grass area that my grandparents who lived on the farm when I was growing up, they could watch. They watched me feed calves like every night. And then like after I got done, got everything all cleaned up, I'd go and they'd have a snack waiting for me when I got done. So whether it be a cookie or some gummy candies or something like that. And then they'd be like, well, how did like they watched me do it. And
Yeah.
so you went, oh, so
So
how
they watched you when you struggled. They watched you when you dropped something. They were like, oh,
absolutely.
how'd it go?
Yeah. And I mean, and they always had a snack for me and then I'd go home. But like walk back home down the road. So that's probably my favorite childhood memory.
Awesome. I love that. Calves were one of my favorite childhood memory, which is funny because I am not a calf person at this point in my life. I just don't understand. Like, I just can't with them. Cows, I have no problem. Like, I can tell you what's wrong. I can tell you what to do. Calves, like, I don't know what to do for you. What is going on? Why will you not do this?
Yeah.
But anywho, mine I was never, I showed like just at our county fair in 4-H and that was about it. But mine, I also was a horse girl. My calves all had specific little things. This is my dressage calf. This is my jump calf. This is my racing calf. And
Awesome.
I would put them on halters and rip around the tie stall barn in the alleyways and stuff with them. Like they would chase me and we'd be running and it was a lot of fun.
That is fun. Yeah.
So to heck with those show animals, we went fast.
Yeah.
And then I turned out being a barrel racer, so I don't really know where that, I don't know what
Yeah, where
happened.
that came in.
Yeah, but
That's funny.
jumping is not my thing. We try not to jump. It scares me. I don't like to go up over. Fast, running as fast as you can at metal barrels, that's fine. Don't put me over
Yeah.
something.
Okay. I have no experience doing that, so I'll take your word for it.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Your go-to comfort meal.
Bush Light. No.
Well, that came out fast.
Ribeye steak, medium rare.
Yum.
Probably like a cheesy garlic mashed potato, roasted vegetable, and a Bush Light.
And Bush Light.
I mean, I'll be
Yeah.
honest.
A corn can, obviously.
Yeah, they're yes, we have them. I have enjoyed their cans the last couple of years. Good
They
times.
do. I mean, I don't personally drink beer because college and I never drank it again.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I do find entertainment in the cans. But if my husband does get beer, he does in fact usually get Bush Lights. So
I think the John Deere cans were my favorite. So, I mean, that's gonna be a tough one to beat.
He likes the camo cans too, but he also hunts. So
That makes sense. Yep.
all the different cans.
Yeah, exactly.
Never did I think I was going to have a podcast episode where we talked about the Bush Light cans.
Now you can cross that off your list.
I'm going to ask you this one just because you used to raise cut flowers. What is your favorite flower?
Sunflower. And I grew up, when I was a little girl, I raised sunflowers. And my grandpa, who lived about 3 hours away, we would exchange sunflower seeds every year. And so we'd plant them and then we'd compare notes on our sunflowers at the end of the season. And so when it came time to grow flowers, the sunflower and I always planted way more than I needed because I didn't care. And I could because it was my flowers. But yeah, the sunflower is my non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
Yep.
Always have.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. That would be the number one. Second, I'd probably go the zinnia or the lisianthus. I had never heard of a lisianthus before I grew them. They are a flower that requires patience. And some days I don't have it. It's about 150 days from seed to flower, which is a very long time.
Especially when you live in Illinois.
Yeah. So you buy plugs because that makes your life a lot easier. Work smarter, not harder type of mentality. But I grew them and so beautiful. Has the look of a rose, but has a very long vase life. So I would say probably put them up there as well too. But
yeah, they are very pretty.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be? Oh, I stumped her.
I'd go somebody that did household chores, switch the laundry, pack the dishwasher, replace the toilet paper, those things. I literally had that conversation. I said with my roommates, aka my family, I said, who do you think does all this? Because if your answer is the house fairy, I'm gonna hurt you. So that would be my superpower of the toilet paper never runs out, the dishes automatically go to the dishwasher, those type of things. The heifers always eat their feed. That would be my thing.
Yes. If you could time travel, would you go to the past or the future?
Probably the future, kind of watching to see what my kids do, where they end up, hopefully following their loves. That's what I would do. Yeah.
Favorite pizza topping?
Probably sausage. I keep my pizza pretty basic.
I keep my pizza basic and my Bush Lights cold.
I mean, pizza and Bush Light, they go together. Kind of like peanut butter and jelly.
Oh my gosh, I love that's awesome. And favorite trip you've ever taken?
Last Thanksgiving, we did a legit family vacation that didn't have anything to do with cows or agriculture or anything like that. We went to Riviera Maya for 4 days, just the four of us, and it was truly amazing and something I will not forget. So that was my favorite trip.
Very, Very nice. It's always good to get away every once in a while and just not have anything to do with the farm or like farm, work, cows.
Yeah, it was literally kind of went back and, the dates are booked, we're going type of thing. We did not do that this year, and I'm regretting that, but we are doing it next year. I don't care. So,
And if you have a bucket list trip, what is your bucket list like?
probably
No
Australia.
expenses. Australia.
Yeah, probably Australia. Going to Australia and going and having enough time that to, really, because it's so far,
Yes.
having
You
enough
definitely
time.
don't want to just go for 2 days.
Having enough time to explore the countryside, and to like get in and not kind of see their agriculture and just see that country. So Australia would be my bucket list.
Yeah, that was always on one of my top ones, and I'm just not so sure about travel there. And I also got bit by the Europe bugs.
Yeah. And that would be my hesitation, but that's why it's a bucket list.
That's very true. And your kind of deeper thought question, if you could go back and give your 18 to 20-year-old self advice, whether you would listen or not, what would that advice be?
Trust your gut, kind of take each step and figure out what you enjoy doing and what you don't like doing, and then trust your gut because, there's situations that, I wish I would have done that a little bit more and then, to enjoy the experiences because when you are 18, you are only 18 once. I didn't have a husband. I didn't have kids. There's certain opportunities that were a lot easier to take at 18 versus where I am today. Take advantage of those opportunities and be respectful. Meet as many people as you can, especially in this agricultural community, because you never know when those connections are going to come around. And as my kids who are teenagers are learning, is that the connection is so close. Well, oh, I know that the same mutual person, or oh, I know, I'm interested in this. Here, let me introduce you to this person who does this. That you'll never know who you're gonna meet. Really
That is
respect those
accurate. It's a very
relationships.
small world.
It is. It is. You
Yeah.
know, so yeah, that it's kind of a lot, but yeah.
Older and
Right.
wiser.
I'm trying.
You are. You've got this. So, with that being said, what
Yep.
quote do you have for us today?
All right. Give me a second to find it again. Let's see if I can find it as better than the first time. All right. So it is extra effort and time spent in the barn isn't for everyone, but neither is first place in banners. The truth is, success doesn't happen by chance. It takes showing up when no one's watching and doing the work that others won't.
And why does that resonate so much with you?
Because in order to be successful, people may see you one day. You know, you might come across me and see me in this interview and be like, holy cow, she's doing great. But it was 5 years of hard work, 10 years of hard work by not giving up, one foot in front of the other, that has got me where I am today. And so whether that is in my business, in the barn, showing cattle, or just being a mom, I think that is something that resonates with me in all facets of my life. Yeah.
Oh, what a very, very timely quote for both of us.
Awesome.
Very good. Mary, is there anything else you want to share with the audience today?
No, it has truly been an honor to chat with you today, and thank you for having me.
It was definitely an honor to chat with you, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Before I close out the episode,
Yeah.
Mary, where can people find you if they're interested in checking out your business?
Yeah.
We're calling, going, help, help.
The easiest way, it's Mary T. Faber, which is my name. You can go to my website. That has all the information. You can kind of learn more about what I do. And, if you were interested, get a consultation, ask me questions. It's free. And then you kind of more the day in, day out. I'm the most active on Instagram at Mary T. Faber. So yeah, those are the best places to find me.
Great. Give her a follow, check her stuff out. She's fantastic and she's so knowledgeable and so helpful with what she does. So check her out. Thank you all for listening. I really appreciate it. Be sure to share this episode with a friend that you think should listen to it. Be sure to leave us a review, rating, all those fun things. And we will see you next week. Thank you so much.